Good day, everyone. I am Oclio T. Orbio from Hingatungan National High School, District of Silago, Division of Southern Leyte. Today, along with my co-researchers, Mr. Ronald Cuevas and Mrs. Evelyn C. Saliente, my former school head, will showcase to you our action research study titled 4.0 Multimedia Learning Resources, or MmLRs, an innovative technique for grade 7 struggling learners in performing operations of integers. To start with, here is the background and rationale of the study. Philippines underscored lower than any other 58 countries participating in the Math and Science Global Assessment. According to DepEd Secretary Leonor Embriones, Filipino students' achievement, particularly in large-scale assessment like the National Achievement Test or NAT, descends poor competence level in math, English, and science subjects. The school year 2019-2020, in a consolidated test item analysis for the first quarter, revealed that performing the fundamental operations of integers recorded as the least learned competency of the said subject. Out of 112 grade 7 students, 13 of them were struggling and fell below the mastery level in the said competency. In a study made by Quadea, mastery of the fundamental operations of integers affects mastery of the lessons in algebra and to other disciplines in mathematics. Moreover, students often ignore the rule of signs in the process, which makes students get confused when asked to perform the operations of integers. Introducing 4.0 Multimedia Learning Resources, or MmLRs, as an innovative technique developed by the researchers to address the gap. According to Cayembe and Nell 2019, 4.0 means Fourth Industrial Revolution, is the continuously evolving environment in which rapidly evolving technologies and trends such as the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence are transforming the way we live and work. It is built from the continuation of many successes of the previous revolutions. 4.0 education encompasses different emerging technologies which allows internet generation or IGEN learners to utilize advanced technologies, Internet of Things or IoT, digitalization, and automation in the teaching learning process. 4.0 Multimedia Learning Resources is a dynamic visual representation of concrete virtual manipulator powered by the application software that allows learners to interact with the virtual object as a concrete manipulator. This innovation involves two salient features. First, localized and contextualized video tutorial coded with JavaScripts. 2, virtual manipulative and digital worksheets. Ruben et al. 2014 emphasized that the use of technology in teaching and learning is seen as a powerful instrument for supporting successful teaching in the 21st century. This action research study aimed to improve the skills of the participants in performing the operations of integers. Specifically, it sought to answer the following questions. 1. What are the scores of the participants before and after using 4.0 multimedia learning resources? 2. Is there a significant difference between the scores of the participants before and after using 4.0 multimedia learning resources? For the methodology, this action research study used quantitative method with descriptive design. Homogeneous purposive sampling was utilized in choosing the participants. A total of 13 identified grade 7 students of Hingatungan National High School who fell below the mastery level were all automatically chosen as the participants of the study. Data collected were used primarily to describe participant skills in performing operations of integers, and post-test questionnaire were used from Monuse using the table of specifications. 20-item tests, and each operation comprises 5 items. This instrument was validated by 2 mathematics teachers and has been biotested on 30 grade 7 students. The Cronbach's alpha reliability coefficient is 0.82, considered good and acceptable. Upon the approbation of the school's division superintendent and other approving bodies or committees in the division of Southern Leyte, the study was carried through. Then, permission was made to the school concerning this endeavor, and luckily was granted. A letter of intent was sent to each participant as well as to the participants' parents or guardians. In the letter, they were informed of the purpose and nature of this action research. When everything was set and clear on the scheduled date of conduct, the researchers administered the pretest questionnaire for 1 hour to target participants. And now let's discuss the result of this study. And here is the graph that shows the scores of the participants before the intervention was applied. Figure 1 shows the participants' score before applying 4.0 MmLRs. The peak of the histogram falls under the interval score of 9 to 10, where 10 students belong to this classification. The maximum data value is 11 and the minimum data value is 4. Needless to say, none of the students got higher than 11. Out of 13 students, only 6 of them got more than 50% of items correct. Figure 2 shows the number of correct answers of participants per item in the pre-test. Items 6 to 10, which focus on subtraction of integers, reveals an average of only 4.61% of participants answered correctly. This implies that among all the operations, participants find the subtraction of integers very confusing and difficult to understand. Figure 3 shows participants' score after using multimedia learning resources. The peak of the histogram falls under the interval score of 17 to 20, where 11 participants belong to this classification. The maximum data value is 20 and the minimum data value is 15. Out of 13 participants, 5 of them got a perfect score. Figure 4 shows the number of correct answers of participants per item in the post-test. Items 1 to 5, which focus on the addition of integers, gain an average of 11.4 participants who answered correctly. Items 6 to 10, which focus on subtraction of integers, gain an average of 11 participants who answered correctly. Items 11 to 15, which focus on multiplication of integers, gains an average of 12.2 participants who answered correctly. And lastly, items 16 to 20, which focus on the division of integers, gains an average of 12.4 participants who answered correctly. Using t-test paired 2 samples for means, it shows that t-stat obtained 13.95 greater than t-critical of 1.78. Hence, the scores of the participants before and after using the multimedia learning resources were significant. This further implies that 4.0 multimedia learning resources as an intervention for struggling learners in performing operations on integers confirmed to be an effective technique. Based from the findings of this study, the researchers came up with a conclusion and recommendations. Based on the results of the study, it was evident that all of the participants passed the post-test compared to the pre-test, and that the difference was significant. Participants performed better in the post-test compared to the pre-test. Results showed solid proof that when participants used the 4.0 multimedia learning resources as a tool for learning, a positive learning experience takes place. Participants were able to perform the fundamental operations of integers accurately. The findings of this study may point teachers in the direction of developing appropriate teaching techniques that effectively address students' diverse learning styles. Simple talks and lectures on integer operations principles are insufficient. Participants must be exposed to manipulations. Constant training for teachers on the positive use of ICT through INSET, LAC, and other DepEd-sponsored training would also enhance their teaching methods to fit the participants' learning pattern, especially in this time of COVID-19 pandemic. That's all about our action research study.